Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Ash, and it's weird trying to make videos at the minute on board the ship because I don't know what time off I have. I haven't had much time off and it's hard to fit things in. So we've just finished our test cruising with our test guests, which were family and friends of Disney UK employees, UK residents. I'm going to burp because of a drink. Ignore that. My family were on board, everyone was on here, which is nice, which is why it's just some of the snacks. There's another bag which I've kind of put away. I've got so many snacks like biscuits and fancy pigs, and I've got a chocolate orange and pastas and noodles and things, which is great because I like to eat in my room sometimes instead of going to the crew mess. So it was nice to have my family on board so they can see kind of where I work and what I do on here, because I've been working for Disney Cruise Line for nearly 3 years. With the pandemic, it's hard to explain what the ship looks like, where I work and what I do. So it's nice for my niece and nephew to come in the kids club and hopefully had fun. But yeah, the test cruising was really interesting. We had 2 test cruises. We had a 2-day test cruise, then we had a little break, then we had a 3-day test cruise, and it was good because we just spent the last like 6 weeks practicing, learning, trying to implement different things, and we finally were able to put that stuff. You know, we've had simulations after simulations, which have been very boring, just like guests, like crew members being guests in the kids club, and it was not fun. It was really annoying, a little bit frustrating, but we got through that, and eventually we put that into practice with guests, and I think everything went smoothly. It went really well, because what we've been doing basically, especially for the kids club at least, normally kids check into the kids club and they can just go off and do whatever they want. It's basically free play. We have different events and games happening around the space, and kids can just do what they want to do. At the minute we can't do that because we need to keep kids separated. So we have 3 sessions. No, 1 session you book into, split into 3 groups of 15, so 45 kids at a time, and they're assigned to a group leader, 1 counsellor, and they're in charge of 15 kids. And then you do games and stuff that you organise yourself in each room, and then you rotate around, and then you go through what are called the kids club, the lab, and then you go through the kids club, the club, 2 different sides, and then you check out on a different side. It's good, it's interesting, it's not the best. I like the old way because it's frustrating for kids to try and stay in one room, especially if you've got a 3-year-old who wants to run off and do something else, and you're like, no, stay over here. And what's really hard is that you're supposed to keep kids separated and socially or physically distant from each other, but at the same time they've all got to stay in one room, and the kids have got to be 6 feet apart from each other. So it's very hard to think of games and things you can do where kids don't touch things or touch each other or touch it like a ball or something like that. So it's really hard to think of these things, and I'm terrible at crafts, so I can't even rely on crafts because I'm terrible at that. I'm the least craftiest person on this ship, I think. So yeah, it's interesting, and the kids have they're various ages, so it's 3 to 12. So you might have 3-year-olds in your group, you might have 12-year-olds in the group, and 9-year-olds and 7-year-olds, and so it's so hard to keep all of those kids all engaged at the same time with what we're doing. Especially if it's a game that the older kids want to play, maybe it's not complicated, but like the 3-year-olds don't really understand. There's like some 3-year-olds just happy just to colour, you know, and then we just figure out from there. So it's a lot different. It's a lot harder. It's more pressure on the individual counsellor. All the counsellors are stationed around, but the counsellors that are stationed around, support counsellors in the various rooms, can't be in contact with the kids, so they can't spend more than 15 minutes with the kid in close contact, otherwise they become a close contact, and then we have to put it on the list in case one of us gets sick. So there's so many things to think about and policies, and it's a little bit frustrating at the minute, but it's nice to have guests back on board, even for the test cruises. It's nice to, after a year, yeah, it's different, but it's good. We'll see how it goes as we move forward. I don't know how it's going to be. Hopefully, well, you know, if restrictions ease in the UK, it doesn't necessarily mean restrictions are going to ease on the ship, because it's like a different world on here, and Disney always like to be more than. We've got auditors on board as well. They're auditing us to make sure that we're following procedures and things like that, and I think they kind of said that, you know, we're smashing it, obviously, but we're going far more than we need to. But that's obviously the way Disney does it. They like to make sure that everything's safe and everyone's covered and everything's done. So that's what's happening with the test cruises. Yeah, we've got a couple of days now between our first cruises, between now and Liverpool. So our first real guests, we call revenue cruises, like proper guests that aren't tests, like we have to do everything for real. And I think everything's going smoothly, everything's going well. There's a new app that the guests have to use for pretty much everything on board. They want to talk to guest services, book a guest services appointment, book kids club. Everything is done via the app, which obviously throws up a few issues of, will the app work? Does the app work all the time at the moment? Hit and miss, but there are some really nice people on board from, I suppose, I don't know, the IT department of Disney Cruise Line have flown over, and they're doing really well at when we're going through simulations and stuff, looking at issues and correcting them. But then it throws up issues of like older people who don't use phones that much, or people who aren't good at using phones, having to use the app to rely on it. We'll see how that goes, because there might be a few issues with people who don't use phones, especially if there's grandparents bringing little kids on board because they've been vaccinated and parents haven't. Grandparents are going to maybe struggle a little bit with the app, and it's nothing more frustrating than having technology that doesn't work and then not being able to talk to a real person, because the real person that you need to talk to is on the other end of technology, and the technology doesn't work to talk to them in the first place. So I feel there's going to be a lot of issues with that. Drill is very interesting now. We don't do the same drill, we do like a guest safety briefing, it's called, as soon as they come on board the ship. Because the process to come on board the ship is very different now. So guests embark, like welcome line, say welcome aboard family, and they come on, but we don't have a sail away party. What they do is they come into the atrium and they see Mickey and Minnie, and Mickey and Minnie do a little welcome show, and they do a little dance. It's a good time. Let's end. And they do a little dance, and the guest family get to watch that, which is pretty nice. I quite like that actually. And then from there they go to their assembly station so they can see where they would go in case of an emergency. They check in there using the app, or mainly manuals as we've been doing. And then they go off and they just have to watch the TV at some point. The safety briefing will come on, and all TVs will come on, and they'll watch that. Everything's brand new. Everything is interesting. It's learning. Slightly frustrating. It's like coming back and doing your job, but actually it's like restarting again, because everything you were taught before is still kind of in place, but now there's so much new stuff which kind of trumps the old stuff. And like you're just like, oh my god, I'm relearning everything about my job. Like I thought I knew how to do it, and now I'm just like so much information, and it's just trying to remember all the little add-ons and little extra things. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm glad I'm only here till September 1st, because there's people here till October and late September, October, and I think they're asking people to extend that. I don't want to do that. It's very I'd be quite happy for my vacation already. I think it's been going well so far. I just thought this is another little video to kind of check in. I apologise for this angle of this cabin is very small. There's like nowhere to put the camera, there's nowhere to put things. It's a weird angle kind of looking up at me. That's my bed. If I haven't already told you that, I don't know what I've said and what I haven't anymore. That's my life jacket right there. I had a drill duty, or have a drill duty I should say, so I have to go drill. I'm a traffic controller. We had Coast Guard, so the Coast Guard come and inspect us as well. It's been a busy week. We've had Coast Guard, and they come on and ask us questions about our safety and everything like that. I didn't get asked anything, although I was about to. I was on where I stand in my traffic controller outfit. They were about to walk up to me, and then the general alarm went off during the drill that we were doing, which meant I was dismissed. And he looked at me in the eyes and I walked past, like, hello, and I was like, thank you, I don't have to answer questions, because I know the answers, I absolutely know the answers, and I have sheets and stuff that tell me, help me out with that. But, you know, just that pressure of, imagine if I didn't get an answer right and the Coast Guard went, no, Disney can't sail because of this one person, because of Ash. He got this question wrong about how much water is in a life raft and a lifeboat. He got it wrong, therefore Disney cannot sail. I don't want that pressure. Too much pressure. We've got a lot to think about already. Right, I want to show you more of my snacks. I got whispers. I got super noodles, because sometimes I like to eat noodles in my cabin. Obviously not drying like this. I can get some hot water from the hot water machine and just eat. What else have I got? Chocolate bars. I've got all sorts in here. So I'm set up for the rest. I think these snacks will see me out for the rest of my contract. I think I've got so much. I'm very thankful for my parents bringing that on board. This is Product Test Cruise. I'll have another video soon. I'll talk about even more in detail what we've been doing, the operation of the ship, and probably talk about how the Liverpool cruises, the real cruises, are going, and things in between. Now obviously these videos are a little bit different because normally sometimes I talk outside and show things that are happening outside. Not much is happening outside because we are mainly just working. It's literally all work at the minute, and no play. So there's not much happening. Plus I can't really film stuff anyway out and about like I used to, just because it's even more kind of keep things not secret, that's the wrong word, but just keep things, you know. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the people that are subscribing, because more and more people are subscribing to the video, so I do really appreciate that. And I will see you next time. That's what I was looking at and I was drifting off. See you soon. Bye bye. I've got to go to work.